What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the long distance Porsche run, part 2, electric Brewgaloo. Chuckle, sensible chuckle. Basically, a while back, I took a Porsche Taycan 4S and wanted to push it to the distance a little bit, push to the limit. And I went around Southern California and hit 4 different breweries, buying beer, not drinking beer, buying beer, and then coming home. I didn't need to charge. I had plenty of range. I even took a route over a curvy road and I had a lot of fun. Go watch that video if you haven't seen it. Now I'm doing part 2 in a more powerful Taycan. I've convinced Porsche somehow to do a part 2 of this. That was a 4S. This is the Taycan Turbo S, the big bad mama jama. This one's 205 grand as tested. It is crazy. It is so insane when you floor it in Sport Plus. We're going to try to push this one farther, and I actually want to try to push it far enough to have to stop to charge to experience charging at a higher rate. I don't know if I'm going to find a 350 kilowatt. My goal is to find at least 150 kilowatts, so I'm not spending 6 hours out here doing this, but I might be doing 5 hours depending on how long this drive is. The plan right now is to go from my house in Lake Forest, California, down, back again over Ortega, out to the 15. Then we're going to go all the way down, this time not to Escondido. We're going to go all the way to San Diego and go to Stone's Liberty Station location, pick up some beer there. Then we'll come back up, and that's where we might need to find a charging station, depending on how it goes over Ortega Highway and if there's traffic and all that stuff. From there, I want to come back up, and I want to hit Docent Brewing in San Juan Capistrano. And then, depending on how the day is going, I'm either going to go all the way to Long Beach to Beechwood Barbecue, which is an amazing brewery and restaurant, get some beer there, and then come down to Four Sons, my home brewery, if you want to call it that, and then continue on home to Lake Forest. So we will see how that goes. I'm doing this as if it was like spur of the moment. So I was charging the car because I used it this morning, but I didn't get to a full charge. So right now I have 197 miles. I'll show that to you. Let's see. 197 miles of charge. Yes, Sam Smith was on my phone. Don't make fun of me. It's a good song. You know what? It's a good song. It'll be back to Pearl Jam and other stuff soon in a minute. So we're leaving from here. It's 70 degrees out, which is nice. It's been cold, so 70 degrees is nice. We've got the Turbo S, and I'm going to run the time lapse, and then I'll do voiceover over the time lapse, and then when we stop, I'll pick things up, and we'll go from there. But for now, let's get started. You know what car this is. It's an all-electric Porsche sedan with some pretty wild specs. When I last drove a Taycan, it was the 4S model, which has a motor setup making 522 horsepower, or 462 with the Performance Battery Plus package. That's not what I'm in today. This is the Turbo S, and it is the monster that you think it is. Okay, so that was pretty good. Let's see. We left with like 197 miles, and now we have 74 left. I had to move the car from where I initially parked because it was a 30-minute spot. Run in, I grabbed 2 small 6-packs and a 22-ounce bomber from Stone. Liberty Station's a bit of a zoo right now, which I should have expected on the weekend, and I just want to get out of here because whatever. Everybody's wearing masks, so that's good. But still, the less time I spend here, the better. Plus, I have to make my way home now. So, 74 miles. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to figure out how far it is to get to Docent Brewing from here. I'm curious if I can make it on just the charge, because we're going to take the highway there. Ortega was fun. We had a clean run in the beginning, and then we hit traffic the rest of the way across. So, I'm going to have to get back out to the freeway so I get the internet. I'm going to calculate how far I need to go. And then I'm going to see if I should stop at a station here or up there. I might try to push it and see if we can get one up there, and we'll see what happens. So I guess all that's left is let's go. We got to get to the second place. Even though it weighs over 5,200 pounds, the Taycan Turbo S will rocket from 0 to 60 miles per hour in the mid 2-second range. There's a 2-speed gearbox, so you can run all the way up to a top speed north of 160 miles per hour. And a 93.4 kilowatt hour battery pack feeds 2 electric motors.
In total, the power output is a massive 750 horsepower and 774 pound-feet of torque.
All right, so that was fun. That was exactly what I wanted to happen. I wanted to need to do a charge. I'm curious if it would have been faster to get to our next destination if I charged back down in San Diego and then could have hauled ass on the freeway. Instead, I kept it, I mean, I was still going, between 75 and 80, mostly 75, just because when I plugged in the destination, it said I would have 5% battery remaining when we arrived here, which is a really cool feature that the nav does. And so it went between 4 and 5. So I knew I'd arrive with like between 10 and 12 extra miles here, which is good. Because sometimes you get here and you're going to find the charger, but this is a Walmart-based charger, which Electrify America uses a lot, which makes things really easily. So if I was going to be here for a bit, I could go into the Walmart, use the bathroom, buy some food, get a bunch of stuff. So it's really convenient that Walmart has these all across the country. When I drove that Audi e-tron across country, we stopped almost solely at Walmart's. It wasn't just Walmart's, but it was mostly Walmart's for sure. And then once you get into this world, you learn there's quirks with these charging stations. I plugged into one and it was only giving me 80 kilowatts of juice, even though it's rated up to 150. I'm like, that's not gonna get it done for me. So there was a Chevy Bolt in this spot. He said, "Very cool car, my friend." And then he took off, he was done charging. So I swapped over to his to check his out, plugged it in, and there's 2 ports. One of these does fast charging, one of these does regular charging. So I tried it and we're at 133, which is closer to the 150 that the system says it could do. I wish I could find a 350 kilowatt charger around here, but I think if there are those right now in the country, there's only a handful of them. And I think this is the only car that can use them, which is kind of crazy. But 150 should get me, moving at least back to where on the road and going. So I also have the Electrify America app as well. So if I did go into the store or something like that, let me just update it. You gotta drag it down to update it. It's lagging behind what the machine says, because I can see the machine says I'm up to 18% and I arrived here at 4%. So we're moving quickly. There we go. It adjusted to 17%. It's backwards on the screen, but no big deal. Let's see if it'll focus. Come on, focus. There you go. It's telling you how much you've spent so far, what the charging speed is, how long you've charged. You could hit to stop charging. You can report an issue. It's a pretty good app. I've had good luck with this app when I've used it. So we're just gonna sit here. I'm gonna try to sit here long enough to get me to 80%, because after 80% the charging speeds fall off, and 80% should be enough, I think, to continue this journey, but we shall find out. So for now, I'm gonna dick around on my phone because I'm not hungry. I don't need to use the bathroom. I don't want to go into the Walmart. I just want to sit here, let this charge, check some emails, send some stuff to Instagram, and go from there. So I'm gonna sit tight and we will be on to the next one soon. Ooh. So a little update while we're sitting here. This charge has been working well, and then it hit about 60% and dipped to 105, which is still good. It's still moving, and only been charging 23 minutes according to this thing, and we're at 65% state of charge already, and we were at like 4 when we got here, so it's pretty good. I mean, obviously this is not comparable to a gas fuel up, even a hydrogen fuel up, which we did in the Mirai, which I think that video is coming out before this one, but I'm gonna get to 80%. It's not gonna take much longer. It's at 67 up there. It says 65 on the phone because it's a little delay, and then we will be good to go. I might be cutting Beechwood out, which is the farthest one. I think I'm gonna go from here to Docent, then to Four Sons, and then back. Not because of a distance thing at all. I have no issues with that, even if I needed to find a second charger. I'm just running out of time. It was far more trafficy getting down there than I thought, because normally I would do this during the week and traffic would be minimal during the day. Ortega would be pretty empty, but it's a Saturday. So it's a Saturday before the Super Bowl. People, whether they should be or not, they shouldn't be, are out and about, and it's just more trafficy than I thought. So it's not a distance or range anxiety issue why I would be cutting out Beechwood, and I'm bummed because their beer is very good. But we are going to Docent, and Docent is good. And if it looks like I'm looking off screen, I am, because I'm looking at the monitor. This is a different I got a new camera, which is why this probably looks better than just the GoPro shot. We're running time lapse up there. I got the Sony a7S III, and it is the shit. It's not going to make the quality of these any better because that's still on this guy, so sorry. But charging is cruising, just jumped up to 69%. Very nice. That's a fucking terrible joke. Yeah, there you go. So, like I said, next is Docent, then Four Sons, and then we'll head home, I think. That's probably going to be the best bet. But 70%, we're cruising. So I'll see you at the next stop. All right, 80, 171. That's that good. I don't even know if the angle gets that, but I mean it should because it's the same time-lapse angle. Let's go back to Sport Plus.
You can get up to 100 miles per hour from a standstill in around 6 seconds. This thing is savagely quick. It's also very much still a Porsche in that it's an absolute joy to drive both around town, on freeways, and over curvy canyon roads. So I'm doing all of that. Yes, of course this one is crazy expensive. The base price of a top-spec Taycan is $186,000, and Porsche options will quickly and easily push that figure over the $200,000 mark. You don't need to get this one because even the 4S is awesome and starts out at a far more reasonable $105,000. Well, reasonable in the land of Porsche pricing. And Porsche recently released an even lower priced rear-wheel drive only base Taycan that starts just over $80,000. Yes, Tesla is the range king still, but a Model S drives nothing like a Taycan, and I know which one I'd want to see in my driveway.
All right, I got a light on the camera because it is now nighttime. It is 6:30. I just pulled into the driveway. I didn't do a recap at Docent and Four Sons because I just wanted to get moving. So I did ditch Beechwood. Docent, made it there no problem. It was only like 6 miles away from the charging station. I might have been able to go there, but then it would have been a real scarier ride to the charger. So I didn't want to do that. And then, let me just turn this light up actually. Because I think, there we go. I don't know if that made a difference. Whatever. So I charged up, got the 80%, went to Docent, grabbed the beer. I got a better haul than at Stone, because I just wanted to go to Stone for the distance. Docent is a really good brewery in the area, and I actually got bamboozled into buying a growler that was not a growler, a crowler, excuse me, 32-ounce can, a crowler that was way more than you should spend on a crowler, but we'll see. I will, if you follow me on Instagram, I'll open that beer up. It was a lot. It was as much as like a decent bottle of wine. Decent in my world. And then I went to Four Sons. Four Sons hooks me up like usual. I barely paid for all this wonderful, wonderful beer from them. After I'm going to put all this in the fridge and I'll probably shoot it tomorrow. But in the end of the video, it'll look like I'm doing a beer recap of the car. But I just want to get out of the car. I'm hungry. I want to put this beer away. The car was comfortable. The car did well. I mean, this is an amazing machine. Until the wagon version comes out, this is like the best car you can buy if you have the money. If money is not a factor in your decision, this is the best car you can buy. It's just so good. There are things you could say, like it could have a little bit more range, maybe. It could have a little bit more room in the back, maybe. But I have the car seat back there just fine. I went to 3 different breweries today. That were pretty spread out through Southern California, and I hit a canyon road on the way down, and I hit fast charging on the way up. This was great. I would have had to stop for gas in my Montero if I took my Montero. So, yes, the fuel up would have been quicker, but I still would have had to stop for gas. I'm going to have to calculate all my mileage, how much I spent, all that stuff, because I spent more. I spent enough in beer. Hopefully I can write that off in my taxes. Either way, we'll do the beer wrap up. Post, at the end, at the very end, post-credits scene, whatever, if you hang around for that. And if not, if you just enjoyed some of the factoids about the Porsche Taycan Turbo S, thanks for tuning in on the Long Distance Beer Run Part 2 Electric Brewgaloo. Awesome. And thank you to Porsche for letting me borrow the car for this dumb thing that I did. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed watching mostly time-lapse footage. Bye. Let's slowly dim this to fade out. Fade to black. Fade to black. Fade. Oh, that's as low as it goes, so let's just shut it off. Might not have a good signal either, which would mean, yeah, so it has no results. Awesome. Oh no, I got 3G. Let's see if that's enough to get 3G. Ugh, gross. 69 miles. All right, sorry, Panamera Sport Turismo in black. Yes, that's the second Sport Turismo I've seen since I've been in this car. 170 miles. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna stop there. So I'm gonna get out and shut this off. What? Look, hold on, look. See it? Get out of the road, Pacifica! There it is, see? So cool.